What if the man you see in the mirror is not the man you want to be? Let's pause for a moment and think about this question. It's a powerful one, isn't it? It's about self-reflection and personal growth. It's about the journey each of us takes to become our best selves. And it's especially relevant to men today, as we navigate the choppy waters of an evolving definition of masculinity. You see, becoming the best version of yourself isn't just about physical strength or financial success. It's about emotional intelligence, resilience, empathy, and respect. It's about setting personal goals and working relentlessly to achieve them. And it's about overcoming challenges, even when the odds seem stacked against you. This video explores the journey of self-improvement, using examples of men who've conquered their challenges. Join the brotherhood, hit subscribe, and let's build stronger men together. Before we continue, I want to inform you that the content in this video is intended to inspire and educate. It does not replace professional guidance from licensed therapists, doctors, or coaches. What works for one person may not work for everyone. Now, let's begin. So, are you ready to embark on a journey of self-discovery and transformation? Consider the story of Michael, a man who found himself at a crossroads. Michael was your average guy living a life that was comfortable yet unfulfilled. He was stuck in a rut, a cycle of redundancy that left him yearning for more. But he soon realized that the only way to break free was to embark on a journey of self-improvement. And so he took the first step, which is often the hardest. He acknowledged his shortcomings, his fears, his dreams. He looked in the mirror and admitted to himself that he wanted to change. It's a tough pill to swallow, but it's the catalyst that propels us forward. The next phase was to set clear, achievable goals. Michael knew he couldn't overhaul his life overnight. He understood the importance of incremental progress. He started small, setting daily and weekly targets that slowly but surely led him towards his larger objectives. But the road to self-improvement isn't always smooth. Michael encountered obstacles, setbacks that threatened to derail his progress. There were times he wanted to give up, to retreat back into his former life of comfort and predictability, but he persevered. He reminded himself of why he embarked on this journey in the first place, and he used that motivation to push through the adversity. Over time, Michael began to notice a transformation, not just in his routines or his physical appearance, but in his mindset. He became more resilient, more confident. He started to believe in his ability to change, to evolve. He realized that he was capable of so much more than he had ever given himself credit for. Michael's journey was not easy, nor was it quick. It was a long, arduous process filled with challenges and self-doubt. But he stuck it out. He remained committed to his journey of self-improvement. And in the end, he emerged a stronger, more fulfilled version of himself. Michael's journey exemplifies the power of personal growth and resilience. It serves as a reminder that change is possible, that self-improvement is attainable, if we're willing to face our fears, set our goals, and persist through the hardships. Change is a process, not a destination. This was something John realized as he embarked on his journey. Let's dive into the tale of John, a man who, like many of us, struggled with change. John was stuck in a rut, a mundane routine that left him feeling unfulfilled. He knew he wanted more. He desired to be a better version of himself, but the idea of transformation seemed daunting, almost impossible. Then, John had a revelation. Change, he realized, wasn't about becoming perfect overnight. It wasn't about a sudden, dramatic shift. No, change was a process. It was about incremental improvements, about small victories that, over time, amounted to a significant transformation. John started by setting small, achievable goals for himself. He decided to read more, to exercise regularly, to cultivate healthier habits. Instead of focusing on the end result, he focused on the journey. He took joy in the small victories, finishing a book, running a mile without stopping, waking up early to meditate. Each victory, no matter how small, was a step towards change. He learned to appreciate the journey, to relish the process. He understood that change was not a race, but a marathon. It was not about reaching the finish line in record time, but about enjoying the journey, about learning and growing with each step. John also learned to be patient, to give himself the grace to falter and to fall. He understood that change wasn't linear. There would be days of progress, followed by days of stagnation, and that was okay. What mattered was that he kept going, that he stayed committed to his journey. John's transformation was not dramatic or immediate. It was gradual, it was subtle, but it was real and profound. And it all started with a shift in perspective, with the understanding that change was not a destination, but a process. John's story shows us that embracing the process is just as important as the end goal. So remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being better than you were yesterday. It's about progress, not perfection. It's about the journey, not the destination. In a world that often has rigid expectations for men, Robert chose to redefine what masculinity meant for him. Robert, our protagonist, is a man who has dared to challenge the societal norms and expectations that have been long associated with masculinity. Robert's story begins in a small town, where traditional gender roles are deeply ingrained. From a young age, he was taught that to be a man, he must be tough, unemotional, and always in control. But Robert, with his empathetic heart and creative spirit, never quite fit into this mold. As he grew older, Robert found himself at odds with these societal expectations. He felt the pressure to conform, to suppress his true nature in order to fit into the narrow definition of masculinity. It was a battle, a struggle within himself, as he grappled with the notion of who he was supposed to be versus who he truly was. But Robert made a choice to challenge these norms, to redefine masculinity on his own terms. He embraced his emotional depth, his creativity, his empathetic nature, and his ability to nurture. He chose kindness over toughness, understanding over control, and authenticity over conformity. In doing so, Robert created a new narrative, a narrative that celebrated his unique identity. He showed that being a man does not mean suppressing emotions or adopting an aggressive demeanor. Instead, he demonstrated that masculinity can encompass empathy, kindness, creativity, and emotional depth. Robert's journey was not without challenges. He faced criticism, ridicule, and even rejection. But he stood firm in his belief, showing the world that there is not just one way to be a man. He showed that masculinity is as diverse as humanity itself, that it can be expressed in countless ways. Robert's story is a testament to the power of self-definition, of choosing your own path despite societal pressures. It's a story that encourages us to question the norms, to challenge the status quo, and to redefine our own identities. Robert's journey shows us that masculinity is not a one-size-fits-all concept. It is a spectrum, a myriad of expressions that are as unique as each individual. And that indeed is the true beauty of masculinity. When the world doubted him, David chose to believe in himself. Let's talk about David, a man who unlocked the power of self-belief. David wasn't born into privilege, nor did he possess any extraordinary talents. He was an ordinary man with an extraordinary belief in his own potential. David had a dream to become a successful entrepreneur. But the world didn't see him through the lens of his dreams. They saw him as a man destined for the mundane, shackled to the confines of his circumstances. But David had something that set him apart, an unwavering belief in himself. He knew the road wouldn't be easy. He'd face criticism, rejection, even ridicule. But he also knew that the journey was just as important as the destination. He understood that every setback was a setup for a comeback. Every failure, a lesson. Every criticism, a chance to improve. David chose to listen to his inner voice, the one that told him he had the power to shape his own destiny. He believed in his abilities, even when the world told him he wasn't good enough. He believed in his potential, even when the odds were stacked against him. His conviction was his compass, guiding him through the tumultuous seas of life. With every step he took, he grew stronger, more resilient. His self-belief fueled his determination, igniting a fire within him that could not be extinguished. And in time, David achieved his dream. He became a successful entrepreneur, not because the world believed in him, but because he believed in himself. David's journey wasn't about proving the world wrong. It was about proving himself right. It was about harnessing the power of self-belief to transform his dreams into reality. It was about understanding that the only limitations that truly exist are the ones we impose on ourselves. David's story is a testament to the power of self-belief. It serves as a reminder that our belief in ourselves is the most powerful tool we possess. It's the fuel that drives us, the light that guides us, and the strength that carries us through even the darkest of storms. Each of these stories highlights a unique journey of self-improvement and personal growth. We've explored the power of embracing change, of pushing past our comfort zones and taking on challenges head-on. We've seen how redefining masculinity isn't about discarding strength, but about understanding that true strength comes from vulnerability, from authenticity, from being open to growth. We've delved into the importance of self-belief, of trusting in our own potential, and recognizing that we are the architects of our lives. Each step of the journey is a testament to the power within us all, to evolve, to improve, to become the best versions of ourselves. It's a journey that never ends, because growth and change are constants, and that's the beauty of it. The man you see in the mirror is not static, but always evolving, always capable of growth and change. Remember, the man you see in the mirror is always capable of growth and change. Masculinity isn't a solo journey. It's built in brotherhood. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. To continue this journey, click on one of the videos now appearing on your screen.